is to see yourself in total, not just as a company worker, whatever your role might be. In my case, I have a number of roles. I am a husband, I'm a son, I'm a father. So that is one critical role for me. And I'm also the president of the company. That's a different role. I'm the chief salesman for my company, doing what in Japan you call top sales, right? I'm doing that. I am a speaker, I'm a professional speaker. I represent Carnegie, I give training, I give lectures. I'm a friend, I have friends that I need to keep in contact with. You know, I am a professional, I have to keep learning, I have to keep developing myself. And I'm an investor because I need to look after my family in the future. So in my case, there are the roles. And they, generally speaking, there's no limit, but generally speaking, I find that 7 roles is more than enough. Right? You might have a lot, but you probably get them into about 7. So please take a moment on that page 6 there and write down what would be some roles for yourself. And I'll explain why that's important in a moment. So please take a moment and write down what are your key roles in your life. It doesn't have to be perfect for this morning, okay? You're looking at this. You can come back on the PDF, editable PDF, and make any changes you like. But the reason this is important is it allows us to focus on all of the things that help us to have a high quality, productive life. And we should not neglect certain key roles for the sake of others. And I know in Japan, when I studied Japanese politics and history when I was at university in Australia, we were taught, you know, Japanese men go to the company, work 25 hours a day, never see their kids, never see their wife, you know, spend the weekend sleeping on the golf course, have no life at all outside of work, right? That's what we've studied. Oh, that's how Japan works, right?
It's changed.
That's right, it's changed. It's changed, and it's a good change. And you yourself have to be careful, though, in that, you know, do more faster and better with less, that you don't find yourself working 50, 60, 70 hours a week. So having done that, pick one of them. You'll see on the next page there, it talks about each role. It goes through all 7 roles. It starts saying, well, it doesn't have to be role 1. You can pick any one of the roles you've got there, but think about some priorities. Now, this has already got them sorted into priority order, so that assumes you've actually gone through the process of lifting out what some goals might be for that role and got them into priority order. It doesn't matter at this moment that you have a priority determined, but what it asks you, though, is to think about each of those roles, and just say pick one, it could be any one of the ones you noted there. What is the goal for that role? Then, very importantly, why is that important? And then how are you going to achieve that goal? So please just take a moment, pick one of those roles, doesn't matter which one, think of a goal, write it down, this is the goal, what I want to do, why? Critical question, why is that important? And then how? And so with each of those roles, as I said before, if you go through all of those roles, each of them will have different priorities. And I try to get the priorities into order. A1, as you see here, A1, A2, A3. So they're prioritized. Here are the goals, they're prioritized. Here's the what of the goal, here's the why of the goal, here's the how of the goal. So I have a great clarity around what I'm trying to do. And again, I've got this for all 7 of my goals there, and I update them every year, and they change as things get done and new things come on. But every day before I start work, I go back. What's my mission statement? What are my values? What are my key roles in my life? And what are my goals? And this is what I'm doing before I set the goals for the day. Because if I didn't do this, I might just set the goals for the day around work. And it may be not the highest quality work goals either. And often I'll be going through this process and I'll remember, oh yeah, there's something that I needed to do for my mother, or there's something I needed to do to prepare for that speaking engagement that's not current, it might be 3 or 4 months out. Oh, I've got to get that in my diary. Or there's something that I need to read to improve my professional ability. Or, yeah, I was talking about going on that course, I should get on that course. it reminds me, it prompts me that, yeah, this is the things I'm trying to achieve. This is the why of who I am and how I'm going to get there with my goals. So just go through that exercise. Let's say you'll get the PDF, you can download the PDF, and then you can go through that. But I've put a lot of things in this book around that, which you can fill out if you wish at any time. Because I've got this myself, my own organizer, and I find this system works extremely well. So just try the what of it, the why and the how, just as an exercise, and then we'll keep going. And I have to warn you that doing this every morning are the hardest decisions I make in the day. Trying to decide what I will prioritize. These are the hardest decisions I have to make in the day. Well, actually, it's the second hardest decision. The hardest decision is whether I get out of bed at 5 a.m. or not. That's actually the hardest decision. The second hardest decision is choosing between priorities. Where will I invest my time today? Because some of these are very tough. And when you go through this process, choosing priorities within each of those roles is very hard. But once you do it, it's done. But I warn you now, it is not an easy exercise. We have to really think. That's a bit tough in the morning, usually having to think. But it's very, very insightful when you do it. And it's very powerful as a tool. So we'll just hold it up there for a bit and keep going. One other thing we've got to be very careful on is we have a to-be list, not just a to-do list. Everyone can have a to-do list, but don't forget the to-be list, what you want to become, what your aspirations are, where are you going with your career, where are you going with your personal life. So we need to always be conscious that we must create a to-be list, not just a daily do list.